The men in black take on the men in blue today, and the winners will take on Australia in the semis. Welcome to Cricbuzz Live. I'm Saiyami Kher. Last Sunday, I was very nervous because India took on Pakistan. This Sunday, I'm nervous because India take on New Zealand and the winners take on Australia. So to calm my nerves down, I've got with me Rohan Gavaskar and Murali Kartik. Welcome, gentlemen. You all know how to make things calm. We were just so used to the pressure.
Absolutely not. We're the worst people to go to when you want to stay calm.
But just see his calm, saintly face, Murali
He's
Kartik.
like a duck. You know a duck, when you see a duck swimming, very calm above the surface, but paddling like crazy below the surface.
Is that what is happening, Kartik?
So maybe earlier part of me was like that. But right now, from the time I've become a broadcaster, I've become completely, couldn't be bothered.
Ooh, couldn't be bothered, but a little
in the sense,
bit
no,
of
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. So you start thinking about it too much then when you are taking sides and stuff like that, and then you start feeling nervous. So it starts showing in the way you speak. Right now, it's like, mera kya hai, ho gaya.
I'll tell you something.
Ho gaya, that's done.
I'll tell you something to calm your nerves. We are the best team in the tournament.
Yes, that we are.
So if we play to 90% of our potential, we should win.
But are we at all thinking about the yellow
shouldn't.
that we have to face?
Because if you're worried about the yellow, you'll face the yellow at some point or the other.
Yeah, either semis or the finals.
You're going to hit the yellow wall at some point or the other. So it's either the semis or the finals. So look, why worry about that? Like I said, we're the best team in the tournament. This is a yellow team with quite a few players missing. So, I mean, we really shouldn't be worried about them.
Any preference that you have?
No, I said this yesterday.
Yes.
And I feel if you feel and if you think and if you are the best team in the competition, then you have to play everybody and beat everybody wherever they come. It's as simple as that. And maybe if we find them in the finals, we will take it as a bit of a revenge game for the 2023 finals. If we meet them in the semi-finals, we still have to beat them. And we will take South Africa as we just met you recently. We will play you again recently. Or New Zealand, you've been our bugbear. We will try and beat you. So you have to beat all three of them.
All right, you'll have heard it from the very calm and saintly Murali Kartik and Rohan Gavaskar. There's nothing to worry because we are the best team on paper and what we've executed. But at the toss, New Zealand have won the toss. They have decided to bowl first. And Rohit at the toss said that he would have liked to bat first. So everyone's happy at the toss because India wanted to bat, they wanted to bowl. And India's looked good with the bat so far in the tournament.
India's looked really good with the bat. India's looked good in all departments, to be honest. I think the way we've played in, and it's another reason for me to say so calm irrespective of who we play in the semifinals because of the way we've played so far. Again, I think this is a good opportunity for the, to try and do a few different things. Both teams, India and New Zealand, are through to the semis. This is a bit of a, I wouldn't say a practice game, but it just has that feel of a non-important game in terms of, the fact that both teams have qualified. So look, I don't know what the 11 is, but I'm sure there might be a few changes.
Yes, well, there are a few changes. One change each. Let's have a look at India's playing 11 because Harshit has been rested and Varun is in because there's been a lot of chatter around if Harshit is rested, we expect Arshdeep to be in, but they've gone ahead and played Varun today.
I suppose it's to do with the conditions, isn't it? Think of what has happened at the Dubai Cricket Stadium. They had the ILT20, which Rohan was covering so many games, and I think even before that they had something. So it's been an overused surface because we did the IPL and we did the T20 World Cup. That wicket looked good. But this one, as I said the other day too, it looks like my head. So barren completely. So you need maybe as a think tank, as a team management, you're thinking you're up against New Zealand who've just beaten you, actually play spin well. Whereas Varun Chakravarti has been a thorn in the flesh for England. Maybe they feel that he can replicate or repeat that act against New Zealand in a game like that. And if you want to rest somebody, thankfully they've not rested Mohammad Shami.
Yes.
Because I feel after a 7-day break, you want bowlers like him to have a go. Because there are certain bowlers in the world who get fitter and happier by playing and bowling, not by resting. And I think Shami is one of them. And I'm glad to see that he's playing now. They've taken it seriously, which is what you want India to do. Winning is a habit, and especially against a team which have been really bad to us in these comms, and very recently too. And good to see Varun Chakravarti getting a game ahead of Harshit.
Well, 4 spinners, that's a whole lot of spinners in the team.
Quick bowling.
Yeah, quick bowling, quick game, but Varun Chakravarti comes in. Rohan, there's Varun, there's Kuldeep, there's Jadeja, there's Akshar. 4 spinners. That's 40 overs of spin we can expect today.
Yeah, and Hardik will have to bowl a
Yes.
bit, start proceedings with Mohammad Shami. But you're right, we expect a lot of spin because, as I said, Jaddu, Varun, Kuldeep, Akshar. Look, it's back then in a 20-over format, the spinners played a role. And again, this is maybe just giving Varun an opportunity to suss the conditions out, because we know we are going to, if we get to the finals, this is the venue for us. So it's also, and since spinners are going to play a big role, giving Varun that opportunity to come in, get a feel of proceedings out there at the Dubai Stadium, I think it's a good move.
But how happy are you, Kartik, seeing those 4 spinners in the side? How does a spinner in you feel?
I think the most intelligent breed in cricket are the spinners.
It's always an exception, though.
No. Of course, yes. But the most intelligent breed, 99.99%, they are intelligent. 0.01 is me. So
always
I'm very
an
happy.
exception.
No, it's okay. I feel very happy in a sense that I like to see spinners. And also, it'll be interesting to see how India go about it. Hardik Pandya has been really good for the balance of the side. Mohammad Shami will bowl. And again, in the captain's words, we've got 2 all-rounders. Akshar and Ravindra Jadeja, more than spinners, are all-rounders. They bat a lot. Kuldeep, again, can hold a bat. He can always hold an end for you if you're trying to stitch a partnership. So I'm happy. I don't mind. I would like to see all 5 spinners too. Why not?
All 5 spinners.
In T20, it's not too long before we see all spinners because they're the ones with the best economy rates.
And we've seen so many spinners start proceedings in T20 now.
And finish as well.
And finish. So start, finish. So look, he's right. I mean, I think the T20 game is going to change drastically in the years to come.
Kartik spoke about the Dubai pitch and what it looked like. There's been so much chatter around Dubai, the Dubai pitch, that we have a fan who's asked us a question. Let's have a look at what she has to say. Does it give India an advantage that they're playing all their games in Dubai? Asks Pallavi. It's a lot of chatter around this, Rohan and Kartik.
Lots of people have said enough things about it. Look, my take is it was decided before the tournament started. So if anybody had to cry and moan about it, it had to be done there. And what happened, where was everybody when India was playing 9 venues during the home World Cup? We were traveling everywhere. No other team did it. We didn't play back-to-back games anywhere. The most important thing is you can cry till the cows come home. We can whine, whinge. The most important thing is you still have to play good cricket. I understand it's a great advantage because when we did the IPL during the pandemic as broadcasters, we were so happy because we were in one hotel. We just didn't have to pack, unpack, do that. That's all a great advantage. But the thing is, you also have to remember that the Indian team has got lots of stroke makers. If it's dry surface, maybe everybody's thinking spinners. But what about the batters? The batters don't enjoy. The batters enjoy something like that. And Pakistan has had some wonderful wickets to bat on. All my trips, we were like, it was always called a spinner's graveyard, Pakistan. And barring 1 or 2 pitches, they've all been 350-run pitches, 330, 340, 320. So I think the Indian batters would have been extremely happy. Circumstances, whatever, everything, it's all been decided before. So yeah, in a way, it's an advantage. In a way, I don't know what to say for it.
I think it's a definite advantage.
Definite advantage.
Definite advantage because, like Kartik said, you don't have to go anywhere. You're staying in one hotel. You know the conditions. The fact that we just said that we're going to play all our games here. Varun Chakravarti, you can get him to play in a non-important game to see, get a feel of the ground and the pitch and the conditions. That's an advantage. The fact that Australia and South Africa both have flown to Dubai because they don't know where their semi-final is going to be, and then one team is going to have to fly back. You think about it, if any other team has to fly back and then take another flight just to go back to play, that's a disadvantage.
Absolutely.
Right. So we are at an advantage for sure. And like Kartik said, sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles. It was decided early on. And if anyone had to raise any concerns, that was the time. But not now. I mean, everyone knew what was happening. But is it an advantage? It's a definite 100% advantage. There's no doubt about that. And we shouldn't make any bones about it either. We've got an advantage, so be it.
Well, we'll see if it's an advantage or not. India going ahead with 4 spinners, but New Zealand also have a whole lot of spinners in their side. They've gone ahead with one change. Darren Mitchell comes in for Devin Conway. But again, Kartik, that spinner, and you will be happy looking at this side. A whole bunch of spinners in their side as well.
Look, I've got a very soft corner for New Zealand cricket in general. If I was not an Indian, maybe I would have been a Kiwi. The Kiwi in me would always come out. I love that team for many reasons. When we played and when we interact with them right now, they are one of the best sides in the world when it comes to playing as a team. When we talk about the word team, they actually typify and depict a team. And I said this before as well. You talk to them, it's always that V factor. Kiwi. We. And also coming to this team, the way Mitch Santner has been bowling in the last few years, the way Doug Bracewell bowls. Sorry, what did I say? I said the right name, no? Bracewell. Name. Michael Bracewell or Doug Bracewell? I keep getting confused. Anyways, Glenn Phillips. Michael Bracewell, not Doug Bracewell. Michael Bracewell. So Michael Bracewell bowls. Glenn Phillips is outstanding cricketer. And then you've got a bit of Rachin Ravindra, if need be. I think they work perfectly fine. They've got two tall, fast bowlers. They've got Matt Henry, who I think is a wonderful player, and just full of batters who have played spin really well against India. They have out-batted and out-bowled India in India.
Yes.
So it's going to be a good game. That's what I feel. So part of me is very happy that we're playing Kiwis.
Well, a lot of spinners, like we said, in India and in New Zealand. But there's one man I really would like to talk about, because I've gone and watched that match so many times since last Sunday. There's just something about the man. Virat Kohli comes in under pressure and does it time and again. And he's done it so many times. There was, a record that he set in the last game, quickest to reach 14,000. He's again coming in with a record. He's playing his 300th ODI today. 300 is a lot of ODIs we see here. And just everything, Rohan, because he comes in under pressure and keeps performing. Just look at the number of player of the matches he's got.
Well, look, I mean, for me, it's when someone says, he's under pressure, I'm like, why is he under pressure? I mean, the quality of the man over there, the way he bats, his ability, to chase. We call him the chase master for a certain reason, but it's also when he's batting first, when India's batting first, the way he sort of, gets his innings going. Look, I think, very early on in his career, I think he realized very early on in his career that he's got that ability to become an all-time great. Some people have the ability to be a generational great, that you're the great of that generation. Some people have that ability and that skill set where you become an all-time great. You walk into an all-time 11. And I think he realized that very early on in his career. And from then on...
Why is it that you say that?
Because about him realizing...
Yes.
Because
is it people telling him?
No, I think sometimes when you're playing, you play a couple of innings, you realize, okay, you know what? This is coming easy to me. I'm dominating this. I remember young Wayne Rooney in a completely different sport, football. When he first made it to the Everton team as a 16-year-old, he went to the team and within a few practice sessions, he realized he was the best player in the team. So you realize that. And I think Virat realized that he's got the ability to become an all-time runner. He changed his entire lifestyle in a way. Cut down on what he ate, what he liked to eat, the way he took fitness up, his hunger, for runs and just to dominate, bowling attacks. Absolute role model for any youngster who's want to take up the game, because you realize that, okay, when you have that kind of talent, Sachin's done that as well.
Yes.
When you have that kind of talent, you owe it to yourself to put in the best effort that you can to get the most out of the talent. And he's done that.
He speaks about the hunger and he speaks about his lifestyle changes. Viru the other day said he won't be surprised if he sees Virat playing for another 3-4 years. Started in 2008, which means like 20 years, 2 decades if he goes on till 2028. But what about his attributes stands out the most to you?
I think the desire and deep passion to be a better person every time he walks out. And I think that is something which I've always spoken about, the reason being having played with him. When you saw him train, whether it was a match day, non-match day, what he had to put in, as Rohan said, to change your regimen from a Punjabi family where you enjoy eating and the word sacrifice comes to my mind. Because to strive and to excel in sport, the word sacrifice is of paramount importance, because when others are doing other things which are what people do of that age, you have sacrificed everything to be the best version of yourself in a sport. It took him a while. Look, he got dropped once. Only then did he realize that these were the kind of things he needed to do. He's a bit like you. When you run for your Iron Man, Iron Woman and all that,
No
the kind of
comparison.
sacrifice which you have to put in, that's exactly what he has done over so many years. And that is one of the reasons, and it's not easy, you don't talk about it, but I'm just saying in general, you think of what he has done over whatever number of years, 18 years now?
From
2008, 17.
Yeah, 17 years now. And if you're saying that he can continue, if Viru is saying that he can continue, the reason why he's saying is because of his fitness. He can still outrun you. The way he runs for you, the way he runs for the team, the way he feels, he doesn't shy away. When you hardly see him out of the ground for more than 1 over, 2 overs for whatever reason, whether it's a washroom break or whatever. Apart from that, he's there. You don't see him injured. Very rarely do you see him injured. And the way he takes care of himself, I think, why not? Age is just a number. It's about churning out the runs. It's about being fit. It's about being the fittest player, which he is. So why not? And the deep desire to constantly do well.
Well, this is his format. He's made this format his own. His numbers in the ODI version of the game are just staggering.
Yes.
Look, and also the thing is, like, he's got nothing to prove now. He's right up there with the very best.
Yes.
He's got nothing to prove. So it's also that desire to play is
I
coming
think
from...
sometimes there is, and I said this before, don't get me wrong. When
No,
I
of
say
course not.
Sachin, Sunnybai and all these people have set such lofty standards that people start looking at them very with a big sort of a lens, microscope, that even if they come 1 centimeter or 1 inch down, they feel that they're not performing. And it used to happen to Sachin as well.
Just the expectations that they've laid
The
upon.
expectations, because of what they have said, they are their own barometer. That's the biggest problem.
Absolutely, and I completely agree because, you see Sachin in this Masters League right now. He's always talking about, okay, I'm still playing for India and I've got to maintain a certain level. That's why you practice so hard. Same with Virat. The thing is, he's got nothing to prove to anyone else. It's about what he feels inside. Like I said, he's right up there with the very best to have ever played the game.
Yes.
That motivation to keep playing for India, keep putting in those player of the match performances is coming from within. And as long as you've got that motivation, fitness is not a problem. You've got that motivation, to keep going out there and doing it for your country and for your team. That's all you really need.
Well, there's been someone who's been keenly watching and learning, and now he's been called the prince. From the king to the prince, Shubman Gill has been in fine form. He's got 4 half-centuries in the last 5 innings. If he had gotten that half-century in the last game, just a peach of a delivery, Kartik, that Brar bowled to him. But Shubman Gill, Rohan was saying something very interesting, is that Virat knew that he's going to be made for the big league. With Indian fans, there's always this thing of holding on to someone. Like when there was, of course, his father, then there was the master, and then there was Virat, Rohit. Do you think Shubman Gill is going to be that next person?
Look, as players, we all want to be ourselves. I know that you are likened and compared to people, but I'm pretty sure if you ask Shubman Gill, he wants to be Shubman Gill, known as Shubman Gill, the next best batter. And it's a great place to be. You mentioned Rohit and Virat, 2 of the great white ball giants of India, and he's enmeshed right between them. He opens with Shubman, and number 3 walks Virat. You can't ask for 2 better players to learn from in this current scenario and setup. And also, when you look at him, he's not somebody who throws himself and says, oh, look at me, I'm Shubman Gill. He's quite unassuming. He lets his bat do the talking. Man of very few words. And a very impressive young man when you look at him. In this current set, when we talk about all that is happening around him, he's a man with very few frills and fancies. That's the way he comes across, in the way he speaks. And a deep desire. So Rohit never showed it. Rohit looks very easy. Everything comes easy to him. Virat, he's working hard. He's doing things. Yes, he's got all the talent. He's got all the great shots. But between them two is this guy who's batting with them, learning from them, and showcasing exactly what we've been seeing. He's just been in sublime form, great touch. Everything he does he's doing it right. And everything he's doing around himself is doing right. So I'm pretty sure, if you ask him, he would say, I want to be known as Shubman Gill, not as the next anything.
Yes. No, it's just the hype that fans create
Yeah, of course.
around
That's why I said
players,
it's not the player. It's
the people around.
Yeah.
But like you said, he's doing everything right, Rohan. He averages almost 68 when he comes and bats first, and almost 56 when he is batting second. So clearly he also has cracked the ODI format and how.
Oh, there was a graphic that was up a little while back. If you haven't read graphic again, he's got 2,734 runs in 52 innings and he's got 800s. Right now, those 800s in 52 innings. So if he plays about 200, 250 innings in ODI cricket, his 100 count is going to be right up there. The question is, will he play 200, 250? Because the ODI, we're not playing as many ODIs now as we did in the past. But if he played the same number of ODIs, about 200, 250, 300 ODIs, his 100 count would in ODIs would be about 30, 35, 40. If not, around that area. So look, staggering numbers once again for Shubman, and rightly so, being dubbed as the next big thing. Well, not the next in the sense he's already a big player in Indian cricket, but in terms of right now he's not the number one superstar of Indian cricket, but in years to come he could well be that.
Well, the New Zealand seamers have to come and bowl to the likes of Rohit, Shubman, then Virat, and a long batting card that follows. But with New Zealand, Kartik, we've spoken about it. Of course, the spinners, it's a very, very heavy spin department, but they've got two really tall bowlers in there with William O'Rourke and Jameson. I'm sorry, but how much does it make a difference when you're bowling from that height? Because their release points are almost, 2 meters. So knowing the deck in Dubai, they are these hit the deck hard kind of bowlers. We have a look at it here. The graphic tells us above 2 meters, the average is 18.29 and below is 46. So it's scoring boundaries easier, you think?
It's not that. It's just sometimes you get a few boundary balls. That's about it, because of the fact that those guys are tall and they try something. I actually cannot correlate the boundary percentage to the height. But one thing I can tell you, it's a tough thing as a batter, as anybody, facing anybody over 2 meters. The reason why I say that is, as a batter, you've got 22 yards or 18 yards to face them from. The depth perception of where the ball is going to pitch is what changes, because they are delivering it from such a long way above. And the second thing is they get steepling bounce, which is awkward for any batter. Ask any batter, it's not the pace sometimes. It's the steepling bounce from that length where it's tough to negotiate, where it's rising into your rib cage or where it's rising, leaving you. That is awkward. And the third thing, you said they are hit the deck bowlers. We saw, what was it, yesterday, when the wicket was slightly dry. Anything which was dug in short, people weren't able to score. Anytime they were pitched up, there were more runs scored per balls. The strike rate was much higher. So what these bowlers will get on a track like Dubai is that they'll get that indifferent bounce as well, which we call two-pace sometimes. Because of that height, it is steepling. You're not able to play, you're not able to line yourself up for any shot. And then that's where the problem is. Yes, if they bowl up, obviously then it's easier. Maybe that's why the boundary percentage is high for them if they do that. And also it'll be interesting to see what balls they bowl to get hit for boundaries. But apart from that, you ask any batter in the world.
Oh, what shots? Edges could also go
edges
for boundaries.
Yeah, like he loves the edge. He loves the edge.
So you may have actually...
He thinks it's the most productive shot in white ball cricket.
Because you could get an edge, it's gone for 4, but it goes in the boundary percentage. Right, so you may have bowled a good ball. Yeah. So we don't know what kind of...
So that's why I said you need to know what ball they bowl. But having said that, you ask any batter in the world facing these bowlers from height, even if they are 130 kilometers per hour, they don't need to be 150. It is awkward. People talked about Bruce Reed. He was so awkward. He was our bowling coach. He would just amble up and bowl in the nets. That was so awkward because from that length, the others you're going to go forward or you think the ball's here. That is the difference. That is the difference. And it's an awkward height. People think it's only this much. But it's between hitting the middle or the lower part of the bat to hitting the splice or the handle of the bat. So that is what the difference is.
It's muscle memory because what happens is you have very few bowlers over 2 meters. Release point of over 2 meters. While with bowlers below that, you get to practice against that a lot. So you have an idea where it pitches, you know what's going to happen, what to expect, from release point to where it might pitch depending on trajectory. So your muscle memory takes over after a while because you've practiced against that. Against something which you haven't practiced, it becomes tougher. That is why when you come against even a spinner, a mystery spinner, you haven't practiced against a mystery spinner, then you're trying to look for answers, trying to figure out what's happening because your muscle memory hasn't taken over. It's the same when you've got a bowler bowling with that, and suddenly, like Catty said, it bounces from a length where you think it's going to be at this height, but suddenly it's at this height. It hits the splice of your bat. You could get caught at gully, could get caught behind. So that's the difference.
Pakistan had a bowler like that, no? Irfan Khan.
Mohammad Irfan.
Mohammad Irfan.
Mohammad Irfan.
Like, too tall.
7 foot.
Oh.
But do you think Rohit and Gill, we know that they both like playing that pull and that short arm jab. Do you think they will tweak something a little bit when they face someone so tall?
But again, it's interesting. It's the length. That's the judgment bit. So most of the batters who play are instinctive pullers of the ball, play it on instinct and the length they see. Rohit helps it on its way. Rohit can play the pull in front as well. Whereas you see Shubman Gill stand tall and literally play with a flat bat towards mid-wicket. But it's the judgment of the length. So it'll be interesting to see. And also the pace at which it comes. If it's even, where you can line yourself up as a batter, then it's fine. I know the steepling bounce is still going to bother you. But if it's one of those dry tracks where it stops and then suddenly one goes through, one doesn't go through, that's where they need to be careful.
You know, Rohan, you said something about practicing at that height. I was at MCA a few months ago, I think before India went to Australia. I saw them bowling. I mean, the bowling machine was up on like some stools and that's how they were bowling.
Yeah.
But is that the only thing we can do in India?
Well, if you don't have bowlers of that height, that's the only way to go about it. I remember different era, this thing. Now at least you've got these bowling machines to practice height and pace.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you didn't have bowlers bowling quick, so you had to figure out how to sort of play against quick bowling.
I've seen once, as a kid,
Yes.
Sunny Bhai and Kapil Paji and all were getting ready for a West Indies tour at Chepauk. And they had that gap between MCC and the new stand which is built now. And I was watching it from above as a kid. From 15 or 20 yards, lots of balls, tennis balls soaked in water and throwing at them.
Yeah.
And with a big pillar around them. So they would dunk and they're getting hit because sometimes you get hit, it's not going to feel as bad as a cricket ball, but you're still getting ready and getting
No, but that again is muscle memory, reflexes. You're working on your reflexes to see something that's coming quick. You want to duck, you want to weave, you want to try and pull. That's also a type of practice. But now, like I said, with bowling machines there, you've got that, you've got that source to say, okay, listen, you want to practice at 100 kilometers, you can. You want to practice at 90, you can. Whatever you want to practice, 100 miles, you want to practice from a height, outswinger bowling, going at 100 miles per hour. You've got that opportunity to practice and enhance your skills.
You know,
You've also got that dog thrower now.
The thrower, yeah.
That goes really
very quick.
Raghu can hit people. The Raghu who's a bowling specialist, and Nuwan, the left armer, they are so strong and they're so good at it. They can give you outswing, in-swing at pace, kill you literally if you want to be killed.
You know, we've been talking about muscle memory and practice. This is something that we've practiced all along when we were on Cricbuzz Live, but clearly our muscle memory doesn't help us. But we will try it again.
No.
No, it's been downhill for me. I'm not even venturing out there.
No, I'm not gone to the prediction yet. This is the joy factor.
That's even worse.
I've got a couple of joy factors.
Yes.
That's even worse.
Here it is. Which T20I feat has been achieved by one French cricketer, 2 Indians, 1 South African and Phil Salt?
I don't even look at joy factor. Anyways, he's so serious looking at me. I don't even look at those questions. I've got zero knowledge.
We'll have to give it a little bit of thought.
We'll give it thought with our food when we eat.
Yeah.
But does the guessing game feel easier now, Kartik? Guessing game, you'll have to do.
Give it some thought. Let's
One fluke I had, and after that, the wheels have come off. So I'm not even going there. You can put 0 against my name.
No. Today's your day. You go first. Come on. Today's your day.
Yesterday I said 320. They finished at 170, 168. Oh, Lord.
Today is a new day, Kartik.
No.
A new hope.
Okay, 285.
I will go for 275.
You go to 330, no?
I'll
you
go
did
high.
last time.
285, 275. I will go with 302. I mean, India's batting first. We want to show. We've spoken so much about what the Prince and the King and Rohit and Shreyas. So we are just hoping for a high scoring.
We are always playing blind because we don't know what the pitch is.
But then that's what the prediction.
I've got 275 simply because India's gone with 4 spinners.
Yeah, so it probably could be.
Yeah,
I'm just basing it on that they think it might be dry, it might turn a bit, and that's why I've gone 275.
That's why I went 285.
Yeah.
Well, which is why we call it the guessing game. You all guess as well and tell us what your score predictions will be in the comments section. We will be back at the 15 over point at the Cricbuzz Combox. Thank you so much for watching.